Welcome. We've been doing a series of election stock market reports with Alan Valdes, a Wall Street veteran, also of Silver Bear Capital. And Alan, 2 weeks from the election.
2 weeks, yeah, and we got a big one, the last debate coming up on Thursday. Although I'll be honest with you, I think if you're in one for Biden or for Trump, these debates probably won't swing you so much. It's come down to those independent voters, which I don't know.
Are there very many independent voters?
Yeah, I agree. If you don't know by now, it's pretty sad out there. Yeah. So, but it'll be interesting to watch. They got a pause button. They're going to mute the mics and everything. So it'll be good to watch.
So we had some good news about vaccines since we last spoke. So Pfizer believes they might have theirs ready for emergency use authorization by the end of November. AstraZeneca talked about having something for Christmas. Moderna believes they'll have results soon. So how do you see that playing into the election and the stock market?
Well, Moderna, they were pushing that they would have a vaccine by November 3rd. It looks like that won't happen to probably around Thanksgiving now. So we'll have to wait and see. Pfizer now looking like by the end of the year, they'll have something out there. So that's great news. The markets, of course, would love to see something before the election or as soon as possible, put it that way. But the fact is there's 150 other vaccines being worked on right now. So I think we'll definitely have one by the end of the year. It was a push that we would have it before the election. And, we don't want a bad vaccine. So We're okay with it. The market's okay with it. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't be okay if they said, well, it's failed and we have to go away. But it looks like they're doing extra caution. They're testing it. Mm-hmm. And that's a good sign. And it's still being done fast track, not rush. There's a difference between rush and fast track. And, you don't want to rush it and mess it up. And if they're fast tracking it, they're doing a good job. So we're happy. Wall Street's actually happy with this. The stock, well, Pfizer's down a little today, but not much. It's down about 4% on the year. AstraZeneca, though, and Johnson & Johnson, they put a pause on it because they have some unexplained problems with the vaccine that they're still working on. So we're not really watching that stock. We're watching it, but we're definitely taking a pause on that stock too. Mm-hmm. But as far as the other two, we're definitely looking at them.
And it feels like we have some good treatments that are kind of a bridge to a vaccine. So there's the Regeneron treatment. Eli Lilly, I know they had some issues with theirs, but there are some treatments that can, at least not make this virus so scary to many people until we do get the vaccine and we get used to living with the vaccine.
Well, you're right. And that's a difference than a year ago, say, or March, rather. Mm-hmm. We do have hope there. If you look at the president with Regeneron, he came out, he looks so strong now that it's amazing. I think the people I speak to are saying it's amazing, that drug. If I get it, I want to use that drug. So, there are things on the horizon there that are definitely giving hope to this terrible disease. And maybe we will get a handle on it. And I think that's the difference, like I said, between the early part of this. We know how to handle it much better. Yeah. And I tell you, if I'm out in the public, I'm wearing a mask. Mm-hmm. I don't care what people say. I'm still wearing a mask. Yeah. I'm social distancing. I'm not going to any Thanksgiving big parties or anything like that. Right. I'm staying away from all that. I think that's the right thing to do.
Just be cautious, right? The other day I was at a soccer game and I had a mask on and I kind of forgot I had it on. And I was like, oh no, am I getting used to the mask?
You bring up a good point. I think people are getting used to wearing these masks now. I see it all the time down here. People are walking on the beach and they're wearing a mask, sand hitting them in the face and everything. Yeah. But down here, things that have canceled Thanksgiving Day celebrations down here. Are they having parades in New York? I don't even know anymore.
No, it's all virtual.
How about the tree? Are they putting up the Christmas tree?
That attracts a ton of crowds. I would not be surprised. I don't know officially, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's canceled as well.
Interesting, But no, so the drug companies we're keeping a good eye on. Today, the market's taking a little pause here. We hope we're going to get this stimulus maybe by the end of the day. That'll shoot the market even up higher. They're still debating that, but I think a stimulus is definitely coming down before Thanksgiving, put it that way.
Okay. Now, last time we talked, you had mentioned that Wall Street was thinking Joe Biden would win the presidency. Do you still think that the polls have narrowed a little bit, or is anybody hedging their bets?
But it seems to, since the president's come out of the hospital, it seems he's been on the campaign, and that has helped his cause a lot, and it has narrowed in some of the swing states, the important swing states. So, yeah. Wall Street, they're always hedging their bets. They put a lot of money with Joe Biden when he was winning. Now some money's flowing into the Trump coffins right now. I was watching some pretty big money. So it's going to be a race to the finish. But I think this debate on Thursday means a lot for funding, for their funding. So we'll have to wait and see. And it's going to be interesting. But it's getting closer and closer. I still can't call this. And all the guys I work with, they don't know. It's just up and, it depends on if they come out and vote. I think if Biden has all those millennials that may come out and vote, then he could easily get a win here. But Trump, if he gets that red wave and they come out, I mean, out in California last week, of all places, he had this fundraiser and boat flotilla down in Long Beach, and it was ridiculous. There were thousands and thousands of people there. So I don't understand the polls when they show him so far behind, and yet he gets these huge crowds. And then you look at Joe Biden, he gets like 8 or 9 people. So I don't know. And I think this Hunter Biden scandal seems to be getting bigger and bigger. That might have been their October surprise. And that could definitely hurt him.
That's a huge story. It doesn't seem like the public is super worried about it. I mean, am I reading that wrong?
I don't know. The media, not you, Jane, but the media in general has been poo-pooing this whole subject. They haven't been, but I think it's going to blow up in their face now. So I think they're going to have to address it. And, if it's real, it's a problem for Joe. There's no question about it.
No, it's definitely a legitimate story. And
I believe it.
There's some evidence that the laptop is real and the emails are real. They've been confirmed by a third party. So it needs to be asked.
It definitely has to be asked. And that's going to be interesting to see if it's asked in this debate on Thursday. I don't know if it's going to be asked, but it should be without a doubt. Okay. But I think that story is getting bigger and bigger.
Last question.
Yes.
So what are we watching in the final 2 weeks? Polls, news? What do you think?
Yeah, you're 100% right. We're watching the polls, but again, polls, as you saw 4 years ago, had Hillary winning the day of the election.
And I think John Kerry, I remember those straw polls, day of the election, had John Kerry beating George W. Bush.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
So, this is not a new thing. It's been going on for a while.
But I don't know if they poll people on mobile phones. I'm not sure. But I don't have a landline, and I've never been polled. So you wonder who they're asking and where they're asking. Are they asking just on the Upper East Side of Manhattan? Are they asking in L.A.? I mean, I don't know who they're asking where they get these numbers, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah. I think either way, it seems like about 30 million people have already voted. So it's going to be very interesting to see where that all turns out. But have to wait and see. We might not know to December either, the way things go in this country. You never know.
Well, that would be very 2020. So, okay, Alan, thank you again. We'll chat next week for one, I guess, last time, right? Before the election.
Yeah, that would be it. You're right. Okay. Well, Jane, listen, a very safe and healthy time down there in New York.
Okay, you too. We'll talk next week.
Bye.